doesn't seem right. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, got my 2003 Chevy Duramax in the shop. We got a little wheel bearing issue, so we're gonna go ahead and rip that off and throw a new one on. I'll bring you along for the ride. All right, let's go. All right, once we got the tire and everything off, first thing we're gonna do is take this nut off. The CV joint holds it into the wheel bearing. Pop the brake caliper off, brake caliper bracket, and then the rotor and hub, and then we'll be able to get to the bolts and pull the bearing out from the back. All right, so there's this little bracket back here that holds the brake line to the spin right here. I'm gonna take this loose just to give me some more flexibility so I can get the caliper up out of the way. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take the caliper and the brake pads off. All right, a lot of the times when you go take the brake caliper off, you see like this, it's actually holding onto the pads a little bit. You can't get the caliper all the way off. Take a screwdriver and just gently pry between the pad and the brake caliper. It should back it off ever enough just to get the caliper up out of the way. Come back here, do the same thing. Alrighty. Get the brake caliper up out of the way. You can pull the pads off. Alrighty. Now to pop this caliper bracket all the way off as well. Alrighty, and the rotor just slides on off. This is your hub bearing assembly. It's got these 4 bolts that hold it on. One thing, do not forget, this one has ABS to it. I don't know if you can see. This wire coming out of it right here. It's your analog braking system. Goes up here, it's got a mount there, goes all the way up into this plug back here. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect all that, and then take the the CV shaft nut off and pop the hub off. All right, now I'm gonna take the CV shaft nut off. Alrighty, the washer that comes with it. This should be free inside of there, and it is. Alrighty, now just unbolt the 4 15mm bolts back here and hold this on. The whole hub should pop right off. I like to break them all free before taking any of them out all the way. This helps hold the hub in place while you're trying to bust the other ones free. All right, and it should just come on out. There you go. Pull one out. Let's do the new one in. What the? Now this is just me, but I always like to dab a Loctite on these hub bolts. Just to be safe. Certainly don't want them coming out. Just go ahead and get started. Before you wrench it all the way down, I like to get all 4 of them started to make sure they're all lined up. I'll go ahead and cinch them down good. Now they always recommend replacing these bolts with the hub, but this hub is about 2 months old. It went bad on me. When I replaced it, I bought this truck 3 months ago and went ahead and redid all the front suspension, ball joints, tie rods, all that stuff. And the wheel bearings came in the kit. The wheel bearings that were on there were fairly new and they were still good. So this is actually the one that came off this truck about 2 months ago. I capped it because it was still good. And I'm glad I did because that one went bad. So these bolts got replaced with this about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. So I'm reusing them just because 1, I don't have any other bolts. And 2, they're not that old. But it's a good idea to replace these when you do a hub. Anytime generally, but I'm gonna reuse them because I don't have much of other choice. And go ahead and throw the CV nut back on. Make sure it's all the way in there. And run that back down. Alrighty, now we're gonna run our ABS wire back up. Alrighty, then just gotta put the brakes back on. We should be done. Slip the rotor back on. Then pop our brake caliper bracket on. Another good idea to drop a dab of Loctite on these bolts. You certainly don't want your brakes coming off. And we'll slip our brake shoes back on. And then throw the caliper on. Yeah, I was gonna put a dab of grease on these slide pins. Alrighty. Goes nice and tight. And that's it. Gotta throw the tire back on. We'll double check to make sure the plate is gone and shoot back on the road. Check for play one more time to make sure everything's all right. Yep. Play's all gone. No more squeaking. We're back on the road. That's the general idea. How you do most of these hub bearings. Not very complicated, but save you a lot of money if you can do it yourself, but only if you're confident. Trust me, this is something very important you don't want to mess with if you don't think you can handle it. It's always good to take it to a reputable mechanic, but I am a mechanic, so I ain't going to pay nobody else. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the help.